Oh yeah. Before we start, I was just talking to my mum, and the conversation was quite relevant. So, I've just got messages here, if you don't mind. She said, sent me a message saying, "Hi, love, recession. Hope you can keep your job. Might be a tough couple of years." And I said, "Yeah, it's pretty scary, innit? I think I will be fine. I think it will be fine for me, though. I just worry about others." And she said, maybe you should think about training or getting another job with more stability. And I said, ha, no jobs are stable, really. Everything is very unstable at the minute, and nobody knows how anything is going to play for a while. Taking what I can get is fine for now. And she said, don't know, maybe a job that uses your skills and quals more. Could work in a theatre. I think working in a theatre or arts org, you would be secure, well paid, and treated with respect by the heads of the organisation in times of crisis. And I said, skills and quals, my only skills are making rubbish art and convincing people that the fact it's rubbish means that it's good, actually. What job can I get with that? She said, don't know, just think you should try find a better job. And I said, there's no such thing as a better job, Mum. All jobs involve you working hard and draining yourself so somebody else gets rich. You're repeating tasks and duties and interactions over and over to the point where they lose any element of fulfillment or fun or meaning, all to be paid a portion of what your time is deemed to be worth. And it is only ever a portion, such as the exploitative capitalist system that we are enslaved under. And she just said, okay. Right. Every day I wake up, I get ready, I travel, I do things, I act ways, and then I go home and I sleep. And every day I wake up at 8 a.m, try and get my plants enough water, shower and dress, travel from my flat to another building and frown all day. And every day I finish and I travel back to my flat and sit down for a few hours and then eat and sleep. And every day I do some numbers, a 9-6 or a 10-7. Sometimes I have a day off. And every day I wake up at 8 a.m. and get paid an amount that's not equal to the effort I put in, get told where to go, what to wear, and how to act. Spend time resting. I'm surrounded by dead houseplants. And every day I wake up at 8 a.m., travel from my home and spend time being, emotionally fulfilled, doing something that feels a bit more meaningful. And every day I forget the economic context of surroundings focus on my individual survival. And every day, I just look for ways to improve my material situation, ignoring the effect that has on the environment and the society around me. And every day, I participate in practices, unspoken and spoken, that would be frowned upon in any other world, but are fine here. And every other day I remind myself we're all in the same boat. Whether you're in retail, in a supermarket, in a post office, in a factory, in an office, in a call centre, on the railways, in a bar or a cafe or a restaurant, if you're a waiter, a chef, a cleaner, a labourer, a painter, decorator, a plumber, a carpenter, a joiner, an electrician, a mechanic, a farmer, a landscaper, a butcher, a fishmonger, an engineer, a baker, a beauty therapist, a tailor, a nurse, a vet, a bus driver, a delivery driver, a taxi driver, a security guard, a car salesperson, a musician, a personal assistant, a librarian, a teacher, an artist, a model, a university lecturer, a broadcaster, a political commentator, a sex worker, a graphic designer, a social media influencer, a YouTube creator, an accountant, a pilot, a social carer, a youth officer, a prison officer, and God forbid, a police officer. We are all in the same boat. We are all doing the same thing. We're all participating. We're all working. We're all working. What's that word? Work. We're working. We're working. Work. Work. Sorry. Work. Work on. Working up. Work your way. Working out. Working on. Going to work. What are you working on? Who are you working with? Where do you work? Work up the courage. Work around. Work-life balance. You better work. Work it out. We can work it out. Workaholic, workplace, place of work, working to live, living to work, work me out, casework, key worker, essential work, frontline worker, hard worker, hardworking, work from home, working a job, job match, job search, job swap, job description, job hunting. How's the job hunting going? Indeed, job search, jobbing, do the job, get the job done, good job, a job well done, bad job, the worst job I ever had. New job, current job, old job, a job for life, 1,000 new jobs, 21 inspirational career quotes, work to become, not to acquire, find out what you like doing best and then get someone to pay you to do it. Find a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Find a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Find a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Find a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And every day is the same. I work and then I don't work. And every day is the same. And I feel trapped. I want to look outside the walls, but they're made of concrete and reinforced with steel. I don't think there is anything outside them anyway, so it's not really worth trying, is it? I work and then I finish. I work and then I finish. Sometimes I'm finished for longer than other times, but I always work and then always am finished. This is a binary that I resent. I resent it because I want to do other things with my life instead of this binary, but please do not ask me what other things. They might include reading, watching TV, watering my plants, socializing with my friends. I also resent the binary because I do not want to do anything. It is hard to know if me not wanting to do anything is because of the binary or because of who I am as a person. And I think maybe my perception of this is warped by the binary itself. I work and then I finish. I work and then I finish. And every day, I think I am not built for this. I have had a system imposed on me that I did not ask for and do not want. Every day I think I am lazy, a miserable lefty millennial who can't be bothered to work for anything. And every day I tell them lot that this isn't how it used to be in my day, when we had a robust welfare system, housing for life, and a cheaper cost of living. And every day I watch my plants die a little bit more, and there's nothing I can do about it. And every day I hate on behalf of people who love their jobs, and I wonder if this makes me intolerant or naive or correct or all of the above. And every day I think your job is still a job, even if you work for a charity or make art. And every day I think about tasks and duties that better the community that could still get done in a different economic system. And every day I think, am I cared for? Am I valued? Am I key? Am I essential? Do my care workers actually care about me? Are they my friends? Do my managers care about me? Should I hate it more? Sometimes at work I smile. Fuck me, right? Is my manager my boss or my co-worker? What about the supervisor? Where does she stand? Do we need to form a union? How would that work? This is so fucking boring. This is so fucking boring. This is so fucking boring, but what else would I be doing? On my days off, I do nothing and feel unproductive, but I'm too tired to do anything. Even though what am I tired from? It's not exactly hard work, is it? Is it? Maybe I can do more on my days off. What would I like to do with my days off? What would I like to do with my life? Please do not ask me what other things I would like to do with my time. I do not have to justify my way out of unjust systems. I do not have to justify my way out of unjust systems. You would not ask a cow in a dairy farm what she would like to be doing if she was not being raped for milk. So can you? I had a bit more written about like work and stuff, but then I realised that Dolly Parton at 9 to 5 in 1980, so there wasn't really much else to say. I have written some notes after Dolly, if you'll indulge me in them. So, sorry, I'll get the words up for you so you can see where we are. I can't get the words up on the YouTube chat because it's too long, sorry. But, you know, get another tab up or something. So, yeah. Harpsichord, thank you. Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. So already there's this kind of lethargy with Dolly about the act of going to work. She finds it a struggle to physically get round to it. Pour myself a cup of ambition, which kind of I feel like is a sarcastic little reference to this kind of glib capitalist propaganda that we're all quite used to. Yawn and stretch and try to come to life. So again, there's more of this kind of psychophysical response, like the resistance to actually going to work. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic starts jumping. Folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. So although on the face of it, that kind of seems like a bit more positive, she is kind of acknowledging that there's other workers around her. She's seeing people in her same position. And then the chorus is a little bit more difficult to play on keyboard, and I'm not very good. But you know how it goes, so sing along. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, which is a lovely bit of sarcasm, and the kind of crux of the whole thing. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving, which is about theft, I think, of wages, wage slavery. They just use your mind and they never give you credit, which is kind of polarized class struggle, isn't it? It's them and it's us, you know, there's us and then the kind of capitalist class. So Marxist analysis is what this is. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it, which is obviously about the toll of a working life on our mental health as workers. And then the chorus continues, 9 to 5 for service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fat promotion. Which is, I quite like this bit because it's interesting. It's about how that idea of promotion and ambition is kind of been embedded in Dolly, like it's embedded in all of us, even though we don't really want it, which I think is quite interesting. Want to move ahead. Yeah, so she's like internalizing the oppressive structures that oppress her. So it's kind of quite powerful. But the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. So it's interesting then that there's this narrative that that's what we're supposed to do, but then in reality it kind of doesn't work. It's really hard to get there. So then we get back to the second verse. They let you dream just to watch him shatter, which is kind of reiterating the point from the end of the chorus. You're just a step on the boss man's ladder. So it's kind of like Dolly's talking directly to her fellow workers, almost rallying them. But you got dreams will never take away. So yeah, we have dreams we can resist. How are we going to keep hold of our dreams, Dolly? That's what we want to know. You're in the same boat with a lot of your friends. The answer is class solidarity. Waiting for the day your ship will come in. So that's kind of working together, organising together. The tide's gonna turn, it's all gonna roll your way. Which is kind of armed proletarian revolution. Hang the bosses, death to capital, and all that. So yeah, I think that's what Dolly was going for, really. But it's interesting, isn't it, that sorry. So it's the same thing Dolly was sick of in 1980. It's the same thing that people was in the 16th century were sick of, and the same thing that people in the 19th century were sick of, and the same thing that people in the 21st century were sick of, and the same thing that I'm sick of now, talking to you on this. And it just feels like there's nothing that can change it. Except maybe a global pandemic. And so it's kind of like everything sort of changed, but not. It wasn't like a new system. It was like the same one as before, but different. And those differences, some of them were quite good. It was like lots of people lost their jobs, which obviously wasn't good. And like people were really scared about how they were going to be able to pay for things that they still needed to pay for and that. But lots of people who weren't working anymore were still getting paid, which was something. 80% of their wage for 100% less work. So it's kind of, and like, so they could like stay in bed, or they could watch TV, or do anything that they'd always wanted to do but never had the time or energy for because they were working, or they were like paralyzed by not having an anchor or structure in their life. So it was complicated, but and then lots of people who were still at work weren't in work. Like they were allowed, like they were told to do like all the same things for their job, but at home. So like they could stay in bed or like watch TV, and they would have more time. They wouldn't be traveling to and from work. They could do more things with their day. So that was good because it was like we were using our kind of technology that we had and like adapting it so that it worked better for everyone given the circumstance. Kind of something to think about. And then like the people who were still in work and still like going to work was like we talked about them differently. Like they were key and like essential frontline. So it's like
we already knew that those were the most important jobs. Those are the ones that are like distributing our food and organizing food and delivering the things that we need and like maintaining utilities and taking care of us when we're sick. It's like we knew that those were the most important things, and it kind of reaffirmed it to us. And it also, like, the more essential your job is, the less you get paid and the less stake you have in making decisions about how your work is run. So it's like we took all of this and like looked at the system that we had, how it was before, and we can see that like in the face of a global pandemic, it was useless, fucking useless. Like fully just didn't do what it needed to do. We couldn't get any of the equipment we needed. We couldn't get any of the facts about what was going on, and we were putting ourselves in danger because we were told to. But even though it clearly didn't work, we were always, the focus was always on getting back to normal and keeping things as close to normal as possible. But we'd already seen that normal hadn't been able to take care of us when it needed to. But here we are, and it's kind of basically back to normal anyway. Like the things changed, but like they're only temporary. And like the concessions were given, but they've snapped back. And like the biggest, like all that death and the biggest pandemic of our lifetime, and not even that could change it. It makes you think like probably can't be changed, can it? If things can't be changed, if something 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 can't be changed, the fault with it is permanent and critical. If something can't be changed, the fault with it can't be changed. Repatching the fault only makes the fault more permanent. If something can't be changed. If something can't be changed, Don't water plants that are already dead. Don't water plants that are already dead. Don't water plants that are already dead. Get new plants and water them instead. Don't water plants. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Don't water plants. The definition of if something cannot be changed, if something cannot be changed, it can be abandoned. Don't water plants. If at first you don't succeed, if at first you don't succeed, it can be abandoned. Don't water plants. If at first you don't succeed, if at first you don't succeed, it can be abandoned. Don't water plants. If at first you don't succeed, if at first you don't succeed, it can be changed. It can be abandoned. Don't water plants. If at first you don't succeed, if at first you don't succeed, it can be changed. It can be abandoned. Don't water plants. If at first you don't succeed, if at first you don't succeed, it can be changed.
If at first you don't succeed,
don't water plants.
if at first you don't succeed, just sack it off and start again. If at first you don't succeed, just sack it off and start again. If at first you don't succeed, just sack it off and start again. A world, our world, the world, but without work. Has that not always been the plan? In 1845, Karl Marx said, in a communist society, workers would be free from the monotony of a single draining job, to hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, and criticise after dinner. In 1884, William Morris said, in beautiful factories of the future, surrounded by gardens and relaxation, employees would work only 4 hours a day. In 1930, John Maynard Keynes said, by the early 21st century, advances in technology would lead to an age of leisure and abundance, in which people might work 15 hours a week. In 1980, Andre Gers said, as robots began to depopulate factories, the abolition of work is a process already underway. The manner in which it is managed constitutes the central political issue of the coming decades. So when are we going to get there? Because I think work is a fucking mess, and I'd rather abandon it than keep pouring suffering into it. Basically, I want to bin this off and start again, and I want to do it with everyone. I want to water some new houseplants, put it that way. I want all the awful jobs to stop, the ones we don't need, you know what they are, the ones that actively harm us. And I want all the bullshit jobs to stop, the ones that made up the box tickers, the performance analysts, the marketing, the supervisors. I want to stop all the jobs that fuck the environment, because we don't need to keep manufacturing toothpicks and putting them in boxes and keeping them in warehouses. And we don't need technology that's designed to be obsolete in 3 years, and we don't need so much fucking plastic. I want us to be able to build like our own identity, our own sense of community, our own fun in a world that isn't a struggle for survival 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I want us to feel solidarity and pride outside of working. I want all our basic needs to be met. Like all our basic needs to be met, head dog. I want us to fucking talk to each other and try and work out a better way of distributing the tasks that our community needs doing, like food, healthcare, shelter. I want a way of distributing this that doesn't mean either overworking or poverty. I want us to make us at least try and have a think, try and have a conversation about work. I want us to come together and search something that provides the things we need and fulfills us, that isn't always chasing capitalist profit or state control. I want us to accept that we're human beings and that we're not supposed to fuck each other over and be stressed to sleep for 73.2 years and then die. We're supposed to realise our individual and collective human capacity. But also, I do just want to not work. But that is fine.
Don't walk patches of the definition of reality cannot be changed. If at first you don't think something can be changed, it can be abandoned. Don't walk patches of the definition of reality cannot be changed. If at first you don't think something can be changed, it can be abandoned. Don't walk patches of the definition of reality cannot be changed. If at first you don't think something can be changed, it can be abandoned. Don't walk patches of the definition of reality cannot be changed. If at first you don't think something can be changed, it can be abandoned. Don't walk patches of the definition of reality cannot be changed. If at first